Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to help you cut through the noise, figure out what's actually useful from all the information out there.
Right. You've got your stack of reading, things you want to understand better.
Exactly. And today we're tackling something that seems simple, but maybe isn't. The difference between a diary and a journal.
Yeah, it's easy to get them mixed up. We're looking at an article here from Lion Paper by Leo Shia called The Differences Between Journal and Diary.
Okay.
And it really tries to clarify the purpose, the structure, how you actually use them. It's pretty insightful stuff, whether you're picking one out for yourself or just curious.
Good stuff. So, our mission for this deep dive is basically to pull apart those definitions,
Yeah.
really get to the core of what makes them tick differently.
Find those key distinctions.
Yeah, maybe have a little aha moment along the way. Okay, so let's get into it, starting with the diary, the classic personal record keeper.
Right. So a diary at its heart, it's a private thing, a personal space.
Hmm.
It's typically a chronological record, day by day of what happened, how you felt, the events in your life.
First person, usually.
Almost always first person, yeah. And the article really stresses this. Dated entries are crucial. It's like you're building a timeline of yourself.
That chronological part feels really central. It's not just random thoughts, it's tied to when it happened.
Exactly. Sequence matters.
And the main goal, according to the source, is documenting personal experiences. Could be anything, right? Big stuff, small stuff.
Totally. Your daily routine, what you ate, sure. But also, big emotional moments, conversations, breakthroughs, just capturing life as it unfolds.
And there's something about writing it down daily, isn't there? The article hints that it helps you maybe process things, track emotions.
Yeah, I think so. When you consistently jot down how you're feeling, you might start seeing patterns, things you weren't really aware of before. The act of writing itself can be a way to sort of step back a bit.
And because it's daily, they often look a certain way, right? Like those predated pages.
That's the most obvious feature, yeah. You open it, and boom, there's today's date waiting for you.
Lion Paper also mentions things like mood trackers or little prompts.
Right. Personalized formats,
Hmm.
gratitude sections, little quotes sometimes, those kinds of things.
What do those add, do you think? The structure.
Well, they encourage you to actually do it. For one, they guide your thinking a bit, like,
Hmm.
what am I grateful for today? Or
Hmm.
how is my mood? It gives you a starting point, especially if a blank page feels, intimidating.
The little nudge.
A gentle nudge, exactly, towards thinking about yourself regularly.
And it's definitely meant to be private, isn't it? That seems fundamental.
Oh, absolutely. The article is clear on that. It's for your eyes only. A space for unfiltered thoughts, feelings, without worrying about judgment. That privacy is key.
A sanctuary, almost.
That's a good word for it. Leo Shia suggests it's really great for people who want that daily record, who need a safe space for emotional expression, or maybe are tracking their mental health over time.
Okay, so the diary is like your personal historian tracking the day-to-day.
Pretty much.
Now let's switch gears. What about the journal? That sounds
Okay.
different. More open.
Yeah, open is a good way to put it.
Hmm.
Where the diary often have that set structure, the journal, according to the Lion Paper piece, is way more versatile.
Versatile how?
It could be for all sorts of things. Reflection, sure,
Mm.
but also creativity, planning things out, setting goals, capturing ideas. It's often less formal and, crucially, usually undated. That gives you a lot more flexibility.
Ah, undated. That feels like a big signal, right? It's not about every day necessarily.
Exactly. It's less about the sequence and maybe more about the substance of a particular thought or project whenever it strikes you.
So the purpose broadens out quite a bit. The article mentions self-reflection, yes, but also personal growth, creative stuff, idea capture.
Yeah, like goal setting, tracking habits,
Yeah.
creative writing, sketching, brainstorming. It's a much wider canvas you're working with.
Does the undated format change how you use it, do you think?
I think it can. You're not sort of obligated to write daily. So when you do open it, it might be with a more specific intention, like I really need to unpack this idea or let me plan out this project.
More focused, maybe?
Could be. More driven by a specific need or creative urge, perhaps.
And that leads to all the different types of journals the article mentions.
Oh, yeah. People use them for everything. Planning a novel, business ideas, tracking fitness goals, a travel log, just a place for random thoughts. It adapts.
So it's less about just recording the past, more about actively working on things, shaping the future.
That's a great way to think about it. Engaging with your goals, your habits, your own development. It's more Proactive, maybe?
So who typically uses a journal, according to the source?
Well, Leo Shia suggests it's often people really focused on personal growth, creative types needing that free space for ideas, or anyone who just prefers that open-ended feel without daily pressure.
And you mentioned Lion Paper even has specialized ones.
Yeah, reading journals, fitness journals, travel, gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
It shows how you can really tailor a journal to a specific part of your life or interest.
Like a toolkit for your brain.
Uh-huh, yeah, or a Swiss Army knife, like you said before.
Yeah.
It can be super specific or just a general catch-all.
Okay, so we've looked at them individually. Let's try and pin down those main differences side by side. The article highlights 4 key ones.
Right, let's recap. First, purpose.
Diary is documenting the day, reflecting on the past.
Journal is more versatile goals, creativity, brainstorming, self-improvement, much more forward-looking or actively working on something.
Okay, second, format.
Diary, typically predated pages, that day-by-day structure.
Journal, usually undated, total flexibility.
Third, tone and content.
Diaries tend to be more about personal feelings, daily happenings, private thoughts.
Journals can cover a huge range: goals, creative writing, project plans, ideas, personal development exercises, broader scope.
Got it. And finally, number 4, duration of use.
This one's interesting. A diary might cover a specific period, like maybe you keep one for a year. A journal could be for a specific project, or it might be something you use on and off for years, focusing on ongoing growth.
So short-term record versus potentially a long-term tool.
Yeah, that's a decent summary.
Okay, those distinctions are clearer now. So for someone listening, how do they choose? What should they think about?
Well, the biggest thing, and the article stresses this, is your intention. What do you actually want to do with it?
Right.
If it's mainly about keeping track of your days, processing feelings as they happen, then a diary makes a lot of sense.
But if you're thinking more about growth or creative projects or specific goals,
Then a journal's probably going to serve you better. Its flexibility is designed for that kind of work.
and then there's that structure thing, dated versus undated.
Exactly. Flexibility. Do you like the rhythm of a daily entry, even if you skip days? Does that structure help you? Then maybe a diary.
Or do you prefer to just write when the mood strikes or when you have something specific to explore?
Then the undated journal is your friend. No pressure, just space when you need it.
The article mentioned covers and binding too, briefly. Aesthetics. Does that really matter?
Well, maybe less for function, but it's a factor. They sort of hint that journals, maybe the fancier ones with leather or fabric, feel like more of a long-term thing. Diaries might be simpler.
So durability, maybe, if you plan to keep it for ages.
Could be. But mostly it's about aligning the tool with your needs. Diary for the chronicler, journal for the explorer or builder.
Okay, so we know what they are, how they differ, how to choose, but why bother? What's the actual payoff, the so what for the listener?
The benefits. Good question. For mental well-being, both can be huge.
How so?
Just getting thoughts and feelings out of your head and onto paper is, well, it's a known stress reliever. It helps
Yeah.
you process things, regulate emotions maybe.
Like untangling things a bit.
Exactly. You can spot mood patterns, gain clarity. It's powerful for just understanding your own headspace better.
And for creativity, I guess the journal shines there.
Definitely. A journal is like a dedicated playground for ideas. Brainstorming, sketching, free writing. No judgment, just flow. Super helpful if you want to nurture that side of yourself.
Makes sense. And personal growth.
Both can help, but again, journals often lean into this more directly. They encourage deeper reflection, setting goals, tracking your progress towards them.
So you can actually see how you're changing or developing.
Yeah, it helps you understand yourself better, what you value, where you're strong, where you want to, evolve. It makes the internal journey a bit more tangible.
Okay, so bringing it all home, the core difference seems to be.
A diary is mostly for capturing your days, your personal narrative as it happens, recording experiences, emotions, in time.
Whereas a journal is more about actively engaging with your potential, exploring, planning, growing.
That sums it up pretty well, I think. One looks back and records, the other looks inward and forward to build.
So for everyone listening, the question is really about what you need right now.
Exactly. Ask yourself, do I want to document the daily tapestry of my life? Get a clearer picture of my days and feelings.
Or am I looking for a space to explore ideas, set goals, map out where I'm going, that more open canvas?
Which form of writing feels more valuable for you in this moment? The record of experience or the blueprint for aspiration?
Something to think about. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.